Good evening and welcome to the Amadeitist spiritual service. The guest medium this evening is, of course, Karen Wood. Welcome back, Karen. It's lovely to see you. Outline of our service this evening will be as follows. We'll have an opening prayer followed by an address, followed by some music, and a moment's silence for distant healing, followed by some more music. And we'll have a demonstration of mediumship given by Karen, followed by our notifications and closing prayer. As usual, the chat will stay open for anybody who wishes to stay and chat. Okay, so I will now hand over to Karen for our opening prayer. Over to you, Karen.
Thank you, Kevin. Good evening, everyone. And if you'd like to bow your heads or sit in your usual way to pray. Divine Spirit, Father God, as we come together this night, let us give thanks for the beauty that surrounds us, the sunshine, our family, our friends, the beautiful plant life and our animal kingdom. Sometimes we take all these wonderful things for granted, but let us now just contemplate. Let us now just give thanks for everything that we have. But also, Great Spirit, we thank you for the knowledge and the wisdom that you bestow upon us. And that knowledge and that wisdom is there is no death. And that divine spark, that divinity, that part of God is within us. And it is there for us to tap into, to give us strength, to give us motivation, and to move us forward in the power of your love. Great Spirit, I ask that I be used tonight to be a channel, to bring through the love, the upliftment, and those memories that we can share again with our loved ones from the spirit world. Let us blend two worlds as one and leave this meeting in your care and keeping. Amen.
Amen. Okay, I'll hand it back to you, Karen, for the address when you're ready.
Okay, everybody, it's lovely to be here. And as we were talking just before we started about this beautiful weather that we're having, and I don't know what it is, but something about when the sun comes out, it sort of changes people's mindsets. And I was thinking today about how we change over the years and how things sometimes can be less complicated as we get a little bit older. And I was thinking about, I had a conversation with somebody and they were talking about their early life, and they were talking about how feisty they were and how they wanted to fight the world, and how, you know, they sort of like struggled with things within themselves. And now to look at them, you wouldn't think that they would say boo to a goose, really. They are very placid, they're very easygoing. And it's like they've gone through a transition, if you like. And I think this is what happens to us sometimes. You know, if you think about your individual lives thus far, think about the times when you were younger. Think about all the things that have touched your life, all those wonderful memories, all those wonderful people, and all those wonderful experiences that you've had. And it's interesting when sometimes I sit in circle with my students and we're doing a philosophy time, and I say to them, you know, let's talk about something philosophical. And they look at me blankly and say, I don't know anything about philosophy. I don't know what to talk about. And I say to them, we'll talk about life. The experiences that you've had in your life and how you can look back and see how far you've come and what you've learned is the philosophy of life. And sometimes we can pass that information on to the next generation down. The only problem we have with that sometimes is that the next generation below us aren't always ready. They're not in that state of mind to accept that. And I can remember talking to my mum and her sort of giving her words of wisdom to me when I was a young woman. And it sort of went over my head. And I used to think, you know, what does she know? you know, never mind the fact she's lived probably 40 odd years, you know, before me, and she's lived a life and she's been through things. And even though we can't tell people what to do or what to do with their lives, or to make decisions for them, because we all have choices, we all have personal responsibility in that regard, sometimes it's good to sit and to listen to the guidance of people, and then we can weigh things up and sort things out for ourselves. I find at the moment that many people want to be told what to do. And this upsets me a little bit because, you know, life is, I always look about life as a little bit like a roller coaster or an adventure. And I think that we have to make some big decisions, but basically the buck stops with us. It's our life, our decisions. And even though sometimes we compromise because of people around us, you know, maybe perhaps you've always wanted to go and live in Scotland, for instance, and you can't live in Scotland because your family is in the south of England, and you don't want to leave your family. That pull of family sort of outweighs the pull to live in Scotland. So those are the sort of compromises that we make in our lives. And this is interesting because when I link with the spirit world, you know, quite often some of this information comes up. You know, I didn't do that because of this. And they say, I'm okay with it. I made my decision. And I think that's what we have to do in life. We have to make our decisions and we have to accept it and not get irate and upset, because the decisions that we make are our decisions for the best possible outcome in our lives. And quite often when we look back in our lives and we think about how we used to be, it's all, when I look back to the younger woman that I was and to the sort of middle-aged woman I am now, you know, my brain is completely differently wired or in a different thought process as to how it was when I was younger. And it's all those experiences, all those emotions, all those things that have happened in my life that are within me that have made me who I am today. And this, you know, this is the little bit of life that always fascinates me, because it's the people, the experiences that touch us, that mold us and make us who we are. And sometimes if those experiences are not great, you know, then sometimes they scar us, or we have to heal from those experiences. And another thing that also fascinates me is two people can talk about the same person and see that person in a completely different light, or have a different experience of being with that person. When my sister and I speak about our parents, bearing in mind that there's a 15-year age gap between us, we look at we come from the same family. We've got the same mum and dad, the same output, if you like. But our lives are different. And our parents were different with my sister, and then they were different again with me. Because within that 15 years, they have changed as people, they have changed as parents, and they've also changed in the way that they look at things. You know, life, philosophy, and the way that we live always has fascinated me. And when I often think, you know, what will people be saying about spiritualism, or what will people be saying about mediums in, say, 50 to 100 years' time? They'll probably say, well, in 2020, there was churches, and then all of a sudden something, you know, we had the pandemic, and then everybody went online and started working online. And I know this church was working online beforehand, and so were many other churches. But all of a sudden, everybody came into the age of technology. And even though we are part of this technological age, I still think we have to keep our feet on the ground, and we have to think about what is right for us in our lives. And we tend to forget that the most wonderful thing that we have that we don't tap into enough is that spirit within, and also the wonderful memories and the wonderful adventures that we've shared that have molded us into the people that we are. And also the wonderful brain that we have. You know, our brains, and I am no neuroscientist or brain surgeon or anything like that, but it fascinates me how we can change our thought process by the experiences and the emotions that touch us. And, you know, there are times in our lives when we are bereft, when we don't know how we're going to get through it. And then we do. You think about all those times when you've either got up and thought, I can't carry on. And suddenly you find that strength. You find that power within, and you find that love. And one of the most important things that we have to do in this life, ladies and gentlemen, is love ourselves. And that's not in an egotistical way at all. We have to accept who we are, and we have to love the person that we are. And yes, we can change the way that we look, we can change the way that we think, but the essence of us is there. And sometimes it takes a while for that essence to unfold. And I believe that we are sort of unfolding every so many years. And a little bit like, there was a quote from a film that I watched, and a gentleman referred to a woman, referred to a woman when she reached her middle age as like a beautiful sunflower, as if she's unfolded within her, she's all in full bloom. And I believe that as a woman. I don't know how it is for you gentlemen online, but I just feel that we sort of come into our own, and we are who we are meant to be. And it'd be interesting to see what the gentlemen have to think about that. But I think it could be right. There's an age and a time for everybody. And I think we come into the fullness of who we are. And I think it happens between the ages of, say, 45 to sort of mid 60s. I think we have that time where we sort of come into our full bloom, and we accept the life that we have. We accept the journey that we've traveled, and we accept that this is me. And this sort of thing I've been sort of touching on quite a lot recently. And I wish, and I hope, and I pray that everybody will come into that fullness of who they are and accept who they are. Because when we accept and touch that divinity that is within us, then we won't be angry. We will be more at peace with ourselves. And when we find that peace, and when we look at our lives and say, well, that was an interesting journey. There's some of it I would love to do again, but there might be some that I wouldn't. But it's been my journey, and I did it my way. And I think that's sometimes how we have to look at our lives. There are times when we can heal. There are times when there are some wounds that may be a little bit open. But if we allow ourselves to accept who we are and just go within and allow that healing to happen and enjoy the journey that we're on, then I think that our lives will be happier, and we may not be so worried about the materialism that unfortunately a lot of people are seeking at the moment. You know, isn't it wonderful to be in touch with our families and our friends? Isn't it wonderful to actually hug again and feel that closeness of somebody, just that contact, that love between two people in whatever relationship? The power of love keeps us going, and the power of love will see us through. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. That was beautiful and a good I totally agree with everything you said there. We'll have our first piece of music.
I wish that heaven had visiting hours, so I could just show up and bring the news that she's getting older. And I wish that you met her. The things that you learned from me, I got them all from you. Can I just stay a while and we'll put all the world to rights? The little ones will grow and I'll still drink your favorite wine. And soon they're going to close, but I'll see you another day. So much has changed since you've been away. I wish that heaven had visiting hours, so I could just swing by and ask your advice. What would you do in my situation? I haven't a clue how I'd even raise them. What would you do? 'Cause you always do what's right. And we just talk a while until my worries disappear. I tell you that I'm scared of turning out a failure. You'd say, remember that the answer's in the love that we create. So much has changed since you've been away. I wish that heaven had visiting hours, and I would ask them if I could take you home. But I know what they'd say, that it's for the best. So I will live life the way you taught me and make it on my own. I will close the door, but I will open up my heart. And everyone I love will know exactly who you are. 'Cause this is not goodbye, it is just till we meet again. So much has changed since you've been away.
Okay. And please join me now in a moment's silence as we send out healing to all those who are in need. And if you do know anybody who is in need of healing, please hold them in your thoughts as I read out the healing prayer. Gracious Spirit, of thy goodness, hear our anxious prayer. Take our loved ones who are suffering, neath thy tender care. Loving Father, hear us. Gracious Spirit, may thy presence shed a healing ray, turning all their night of darkness into glorious day. Loving Father, hear us. Gracious Spirit, shouldst thou claim them, be their light and guide. Lead them to the heavenly kingdom, safely by thy side. Loving Father, hear us. Hear us. Amen.
I dedicate this song to anybody that's lost somebody that they love. It's called Someone to Remember Me.
I hope you see as you look down all of this love gathered around. I hope you hear what people say. I hope you know the role you play. You were my rock, you were my shield, the space you leave, no one can feel. You held the room, you cast a spell, you'll always be remembered well. And when my days have come and gone, I hope I live more right than wrong. I want to feel this love I see. When I am gone, I hope there will be someone to remember me. Though you're not here with me, a part of you will always be. I'll hear your laughter, I'll see your smile, I'll feel you near once in a while. And when my days have come and gone, I hope I live more right than wrong. I want to feel this love I see. When I am gone, I hope there will be someone to remember me. And when my days have come and gone, I hope I live more right than wrong. I want to feel this love I see. When I am gone, I hope there'll be someone to remember. Someone to remember me. Someone to remember
Right. I now ask you to send out your love to Karen as she links into our loved ones on our behalf. Over to you, Karen.
Thank you. Well, you certainly got us there with those two songs, Kevin. The tears were coming. Visiting Hours, I have to say, is such a beautiful song. And I've always thought that people are inspired sometimes to write those lyrics, because when I first heard that song, it got me, and it still gets me every time I hear it. And I do like Russell Watson, and I hadn't heard him sing that song, and that got me as well. So there you go. So I think we're going to have a little bit of an emotional evening, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get cracking. Now, I am aware of a lady that draws close to me, and as that song was playing, Visiting Hours, I did feel her come close, and I do feel that this lady was very much the heart and soul of her family. And I feel that when she passed to the spirit world, it was almost as if there was a big hole or a big gap when she passed over. And I do feel that she was very close to her daughter. So I do feel I do have mum here in the spirit world. And I feel that she would have always sat down and put the world to rights, not just with family, but with friends as well. And I feel that she was very much the matriarch of the family. Now, I'm not 100% sure who I'm with, but I'm sort of drawn between Sharon and Catherine. So if you can unmute, does this make sense? Does this make sense to either of you?
It makes sense for me and a grandmother.
Okay. Catherine, does this make sense to you?
Yes, it's my mother.
Right. Okay. Well, let me just, I did feel it was mum, but if Sharon, if you could listen as well, because I just feel that this lady loved a cup of tea, and she's showing me this big kitchen table. So I know that there was a big kitchen table in her home. Would you understand that? And I think it's one of those farmhouse style kitchen tables. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Do you understand that, Catherine?
I do, yes.
Okay. Sharon, do you understand that as well? I thought you might. Okay. But I also feel that this lady wasn't just a mum. She was a mum to her family, but would you understand where she was like a mum to other people as well?
Yes.
Does that make sense to you? Because I feel I've got like either friends of yours or cousins that sort of looked on her very much in a maternal role. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
It does. Sharon, does that make sense to you as well? Okay. Would you also, okay, I've asked her to give me some factual information, because she is an extremely emotional lady, but she's strong. She's strong. And I've got this feeling that she would have, when she was talking to you, and if she wanted to get a point across, she'd grab your hand, because I just felt her grab my hand. Does that make sense to both of you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And would you understand the name of Sally connected somewhere?
Yes.
You would. Sharon, do you understand that?
Sorry, you sort of
Okay,
broke up
I'm
there.
gonna stick. I'm gonna go with Kat, because I just said, come
Yeah,
and sort
that's
this
fine.
out for me. And she said she's just said, tell her, just say Sally, and that will sort it out. I feel that she had a very practical side, but an emotional side as well.
Yeah.
And when she was in a sort of like doing mode, she was very much sort of, she would get things done, very much done and dusted. I feel that she could be quite a dynamo when she got going. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. Yes.
And I feel she would get up early in the morning if she had jobs to do, especially if she was having family visits, because I do feel she loved to have family to entertain. And I've got this smell in my nose now, and it's like a lovely, she had a thing about cleaning everything really, really well. Would you understand that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I've got this lovely smell of like floral disinfectant. Does that make sense to you? And I think that you would go in the house and you could smell it. It was a nice smell, don't get me wrong, but I just feel she was and this pine table was scrubbed, and I feel it was scrubbed with a brush. Does that make sense to you? Like a brush?
No.
Okay, but would you imagine, can you
I can imagine the big table, yes.
yeah, but would you okay, I just feel that this table would have been really cleaned very,
Would be clean,
very
yes,
well.
Yes, it would be.
And I also feel that she would have loved flowers, this lady, as well.
Mm.
And would you understand whereby I've got like either herbs or dried flowers hanging? Does that make sense to you?
Mm. No.
That doesn't make sense to you.
No.
Okay.
Mm.
Sharon, does this make sense to you? Because I think I may have two people here. Sharon, can you just unmute for me a minute? Does this make sense to you?
She's got her camera off, so she's probably nipped
Oh,
out the
right.
room or
Okay.
something.
Okay. Well, let me just pop that to one. Let me just pop that to one side for a moment. But okay. I feel with this lady, Catherine, your mum here, I feel that when she found out she wasn't very well, it's like she wanted to get her house in order. Does that make sense to you?
Mm. Not really, no.
Not really.
No.
Okay. Would you understand where someone here needs to get things sorted and get their house in order? Does that make sense to you?
Yes, I do, yes, yeah.
Okay. Because I feel that she's got her done and dusted head on, if that makes sense to you. I feel
Yeah.
that she's got her practical head on. And I think if she was here, she'd come in and it would be all, she'd sort things out. She wouldn't
Yes.
mess about. But I
Yes.
also feel that she had a way about her to get people to open up, to tell her what was going on. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And I feel she was a very intuitive lady as well.
Yes. Yes, she was.
She would know that if somebody wasn't firing on all cylinders, or if there was something going on, she would just know.
Yes.
Do you understand that?
I do, yes.
And would you understand, she's talking about a young man or a young boy, a young man here that I feel needs a little bit of help and support. Would you understand that?
Yes, not so young.
Well, she said a young man. I changed it to a
Okay,
young
okay.
lad. So I'm going to go young
Okay.
man.
We go with
Alright.
young man.
Young man. Yes, that's better. I changed it. I shouldn't have done. So young man that needs a little bit of help and support. But would
Yes.
you understand, Catherine, whereby he may be a young man, but he sometimes doesn't, there's an innocence, or he's not, I don't know, he finds it difficult to stand on his own 2 feet. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay, because I feel that he does need support, but she says he also needs his own independence as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what she's talking
I do, yes,
about?
yes, yes.
And she says sometimes to love someone, we have to let them go. And I don't know what she means by that, but I hope it makes sense to you.
It does, yes, it does.
Okay, because I feel her words, not mine. Okay, I feel that he's been a little bit wrapped, maybe a little bit protected, and she's saying mollycoddled. So but she said, but which is fine, but I think it's like he wants to, I don't know, spread his wings or do something else. And I think he's got to be, obviously it's his decision, but I feel it's like he needs to fly. He needs to do what he needs to do.
Okay,
Do you understand
okay.
that?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Okay. Because I feel if she was here, she'd be talking to someone and say, let him go, because if you let him go, he will come back. He will still know that he's surrounded by that love. Yes, you understand what she's talking about?
I do, yes. I
And
do.
that door will always be open. But if you cage him in, he's going to fight and he won't want to come back. And it will, you know, she's seen it before. I feel that something happened to her which was similar to this. Does this make sense to you?
That's right, yes, yes, yes.
And she said she didn't open the door. She kept it shut, and it was the wrong decision to make. And it was all right in the end, but it took her, it was harder.
Yes,
That makes sense.
it does.
Okay.
Yes, yes. It does.
So I feel she's just coming back to give you her words of wisdom. Okay.
Yes, yes.
And she's met lots of people in the spirit world. She said it's a bit like visiting ours up there. She said there's loads of family that she's met, you know, and I do feel that she did quite like a bit of a party. Does that make sense to you?
I did repeat that again.
Right. I feel she liked a party. She liked to have she liked a bit of entertaining, a bit of a good time when she was here.
She was.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
And I also feel that she loved, and she's saying it's been a bit like a party in the spirit world since she's been over, because she's met all these family, all the loved ones that have gone before her.
Good, good.
You understand
Yes,
that?
I do
Now
understand that.
she's taking me to a Christmas. Would you understand? Now I don't know if it was her or someone else, but she's showing me. Oh, I don't know. I don't know how people drink this stuff, but it's Advocar, you know, that yellow stuff that you make snowballs out of. Would you understand somebody making snowballs with the Advocar, the drink? You don't understand that?
No.
Okay,
no.
let me park that then. Let me just park that for a moment, because I just feel that, but would you understand a connection with Christmas time and people enjoying themselves and having a good time?
Yeah, yeah, I could do. Yeah, yeah.
You can understand that. Okay. Would you? I'm hearing a name here, and I'm not sure where this connects, but it's like Marcy, Macy, something like that. Mari. Would you understand that name connected with your family?
Martin.
No, it's Marcy. Marcy. I feel it could be going back.
Okay.
Okay. Let's just see what else that she wants to say. She also wants you to look after yourself, to take care of yourself. Okay.
Okay.
And
Yes.
I just feel that she wants you to take care of yourself. And I feel with her that she just kept going and she didn't always look after herself. Would you understand that?
Yes.
And there was niggles that she got where she knew she should have gone to the doctors before she did. And I also feel that she had some problems eating certain things. Would you understand that?
Yes. Yes.
And she said that really upset me, because I do feel that when she was well, she enjoyed her food, but I just feel there were certain things suddenly that she couldn't eat. And I don't know if it was to do with bread or gluten, but I just feel something bloated her out and she couldn't eat it. And she was gutted, because she did love like a nice I'm seeing a French stick, but I'm also seeing like a cob loaf as well.
Yes.
Do you understand that?
Yes, yes, yes.
And I feel that either she made this bread or you would get it where it was homemade from somewhere. And she'd love this bread with quite a lot of the old butter on and a nice chunk of cheese. She's showing me here. And she said, you know, she said she would suffer if she had it towards the end. And that's when she started to know that things were not right as well. Would you understand a gentleman in the spirit world that loved a pint of Guinness? I've just got somebody bringing a pint of Guinness or a pint of stout. Does that make sense to you?
It does, yes.
Yeah, because I'm just seeing that. And okay, I also feel that I feel where your mum was, it was quite a tight community. I feel that everybody knew each other. Do you understand that?
Yes, yeah.
And I also feel, I don't know if it was for her funeral, but I do know a funeral in the family whereby everybody came out on a street and paid their respects to someone. And I don't know if this was your mum or someone else, but I just feel she's just taking me to that memory when everybody, and I feel people chucked flowers. Would you understand that?
No.
You wouldn't understand that.
No.
All
No.
right, let me park that. So I think I'm coming to the end of what your mum wants to say. She comes with a great deal of love for you, Catherine, and she's just a little bit concerned about this young man. And she's saying, you know, it's like, you know, she's giving me a reference to like a homing pigeon. If you let them fly, then they'll find their way back home again. And this is what I feel she wants to say to you, and this with regard to this situation. Okay.
Yeah.
So take her love and look after yourself, she's saying. Okay.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you very much indeed.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay.
Useful.
Right. I've got sort of like a bit of a quandary now. Because I've got this scenario here of this funeral. And it's in a small town or a village, and I feel that it was a procession, and I even feel that it was like the old-fashioned horse and cart with the funeral on the back, with the casket on the back, and I feel that practically everybody came out, and there was flowers, either loads and loads of flowers, and I feel flowers were chucked on the pathway as well. Does this make sense to anybody? Or am I going a bit crazy? Does this make sense to anyone? Can anybody remember a funeral of that? Does that make sense? Does that make sense to anybody? No. Okay. All right. Let me just Sharon, you're back. Lovely. Because you froze for a bit. Sharon, can I just come to you for a moment? Can you unmute for me?
Certainly. Apologies for that as well.
That's fine. That's fine. Because at one point I did feel that your grandmother was here as well, because she was taking me to some sort of party, and something about Advocar. You know that? Do you understand the Advocar?
I did, yes.
The snowballs.
Yes.
You know, I'm not saying this is her, but would you understand where someone, shall we say, had a little bit more than 1 over the 8 with this Advocar and paid for it the next morning? And I do feel, you know, the Advocar's yellow. Well, I think this person turned yellow. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
She's just coming in with that memory. And would you understand this funeral, this big funeral? You wouldn't.
No.
All right, I'm going to stick that there. Okay. Because I just feel that she just wants to be remembered to you as well. And I also feel that somebody would have had a piano, because I've got roll out the barrel, and I feel all those songs that people would sing. And would you also understand, she's taking me back now to power cuts. And I feel that and this must be possibly before you were born, but I just, something about power cuts. And also I feel she's saying that there were times within the family and times within the place where she lived, because I do feel that she lived in quite a small place. Would you understand that?
Yes.
And I feel that the place that she lived in was quite badly affected when there was job cuts. There must have been something closed near to where she lived. Would you understand that?
Yes.
And I feel that everybody's sort of like mucked in. And this is where she's taking me to the piano, because I'm seeing everybody sitting around with candles singing around this piano. Do you understand this story?
Yes, I can understand that. Yeah.
And she said, do you know what? She said, I know it was a tough time in the economy, in the village and everything that was going on. She said, but the community spirit in the village and people were there for each other. If somebody didn't have milk, the person next door would give them milk. If you didn't have bread, you'd share a loaf with your neighbor. And she said the camaraderie and the community spirit was fantastic. And then she's saying to me, so what happened? What happened?
Exactly.
And I do feel she was quite cut and dry, your grandmother. So what happened then? You know, what's going on? And she was very much the hub of this village. Everybody knew her.
Yeah.
Okay. And everybody respected her.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that when she spoke, people listened.
Yep.
Do you understand that?
I do.
And I also feel that she was the sort of lady, and I think she did it because I feel that she would sort things out between families and also two men in particular. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
And she'd say sort of things like, well, if you don't sort this out, and she's like, bang your heads together.
Yep.
You understand that?
Oh, definitely, yes.
And nobody messed with her.
No.
So I do feel that when she passed, it was a big gap within
It was a massive hole.
family.
Yeah.
But not just the family, the community. And I also feel that she's taken me now to Remembrance Day around November time. And I feel that was quite significant to her.
Yeah.
Because she's taking me to I was going to say the cenotaph, but I feel it's the memorial thing where in the village, shall we say. And I'm sure there's names of her family on the memorial plaque.
There is, yeah.
There is. And she would always wear her poppy with pride. And I feel that she either laid a wreath or she would go out and watch people lay a wreath.
Yeah.
Because I feel that there was connections with the family to do with the Legion or some sort of affiliation. You understand that?
Yeah.
So I do feel, because she's shaking the poppy tin now, so I feel that she would have maybe gone out and raised some money. I do feel that she wasn't one for throwing things away as well. Would you understand that?
Yes.
Because she's opened a cupboard, and if somebody wanted, I don't know, I can't say that on a public demonstration. Shall we say, if somebody wanted some haberdashery?
Yes.
All right.
I know exactly.
You know exactly what I mean. She would have it.
Yes.
You understand?
She had a special cupboard that was locked.
Yes. And she's it's almost as if she kept all this cupboard and all these things. She would have very unusual things as well.
Yeah.
And she would have also kept things like oil for lamps. And I also feel that she's talking about calamine lotion.
Yes.
Do you remember, is there a memory with you with calamine lotion?
Yes, when I had chicken pox.
Yeah. And it's like, you look like Miss Blobby with all the pink blobs everywhere. And I feel that she looked after you. I feel that she looked after you when you were poorly with this. And everything could be sorted out. I don't know if it's chicken soup, but there's this pot of soup and everything went in it. There's pearl barley, there's carrot, there's like a ham hock bone, and everything is going in this. And and whether she put magic in it, I don't know, but it did used to make you feel better.
Yeah.
Okay. And she's also saying that you quite like Lucozade. Lucozade is not like it used to be.
No, it's no.
Lucozade was AIDS recovery because it used to make you feel better. So I feel that she would always have that as well.
Yes.
And I'm hearing now, it used to be wrapped up in that
cellophane.
Stuff. Yeah. And she would have that as well.
Yeah.
I also feel, would you understand, there's two sisters?
Yes.
With her as well.
Yes.
And I do feel they were very, very close, a bit like the Beverly sisters, shall we say. And I do feel they did quite a lot together. And I'm not sure if it's your grandmother or one of the sisters, but one of them used to make a lovely cake, and it would come in a proper cake tin.
It wouldn't be my grandmother.
No, but would you understand somebody? Would you understand somebody that made this Dundee fruit cake?
I can't think offhand.
You can't think.
No.
Okay. Because I just feel that somebody's brought this Dundee fruit cake.
My dad's sister used to make it.
Right. Okay. Because I just feel that's coming in as well. It's quite funny because I also feel that it was that in America, when somebody's going through rough times, people always bring a pot of something. But I feel that also happened within in the village as well. So I do feel that if there was a bereavement in the family or somebody was ill, there'd be cottage pies and casseroles and all sorts of things. But I feel that your grandmother had quite a sweet tooth.
She did.
Because I'm getting butterscotch. So
Yeah.
butterscotch sweets. Would you
Yeah,
understand that?
definitely. Yeah.
And also, this takes me back. Sanatrogen tonic wine. Would you
Yeah.
understand that?
Yes.
And also we've got the sherry. She didn't mind the Croft Original or the Harvey's Bristol Cream.
Yeah.
But I do feel that she did like a glass of sherry
She did, yes.
on special occasions as well. She comes with a great deal of love for you, Sharon. She really does. And I also feel that going back to this funeral, would you understand that a lot of people came to pay their respects to her?
Yes.
Yeah. And I do feel that she was quite shocked about how many people came, because I feel that there was people that came quite a distance. Would you understand that?
Yes.
People that had left and came back.
Yeah.
There's a big pull in this village, I want to say. I feel you can take the person out the village, but you can't take the village out the person. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I think everybody, goes back there or has very fond memories of it.
Yeah.
But she's saying it's changed a great deal.
It has.
What
Yeah.
it used to be. And she's saying that it used to be quite small, but she's talking now about either housing estates or building that has happened.
Yeah.
And she's sort of shrugging her shoulders and saying, well, this is progress, and these things happen, but she just wants to bring you a lot of love.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
My pleasure. Okay. Right, let's see who else we've got here. Okay. I've got a gentleman here, and he's talking about right. I feel there's a connection with horses with this gentleman, but I've also got the song or the nursery rhyme, Ride a Cock Horse to Banbury Cross. So would anybody know a place called Banbury Cross or Banbury something or other? Does this make sense?
Yes, I
do. You do, Nikki. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And would you understand a gentleman that loved horses, and I feel that he used to ride horses? Do you understand that?
Not so much ride, but he loved horses, yes.
Okay. But
in the family they used to ride.
Right, okay, because I'm seeing, people up early in the morning, and it looks like, where they exercise like the race horses. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing, acres of fencing where they go round and round, and I just feel that must be a connection with race horses here. Does that make sense to you?
I can connect that with race horses, yeah, but not with the same person. But
no,
yeah,
that's fine. But this gentleman did love horses, and I also feel that he loved being outside in nature as well.
Yes.
And I feel in a way he's got a holistic approach to him, which not everybody understood. Does that make sense to you?
Not really, no.
Not really. Okay, let me just, because I've something about, okay, let me just see where he's going with this. Would you understand there were times in this gentleman's life where he could sort of like be a little bit of a loner?
Yes.
You understand that? Okay.
Yeah.
And he'd sort of take himself away from the family and people for just maybe short spaces of time. Does that make sense to you?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay. And would you also understand whereby sometimes he couldn't always express himself the way he wanted?
Yeah.
I feel that he didn't always communicate. He says, there was things I wanted to say to people, but I couldn't always get the words out, or I couldn't always express myself.
Yeah.
And would you also understand, I don't know if it's him that's drawing, but would you understand either an appreciation of drawing and art or something about drawing with him?
I do understand that, yes.
Right. Okay. And I feel that he's making me aware here that sometimes the pace of life overwhelmed him.
Yeah.
You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes he was a little bit misunderstood.
Sometimes it was, yeah.
I just feel that he was quite a complex character, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I want to say I've got a man of two halves here.
Yeah.
There were times when he was good, and there were times when he wasn't.
Yeah.
You understand that?
Oh,
And
yes.
there was frustration. There was something buried within him that
Mm-hmm.
he couldn't let go of.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel this goes back to when he was young. Would you also somebody that would you understand somebody in the family or connected with him that had TB?
Yeah, yeah, I do actually. Yeah,
You
'cause he used to
understand
say,
that?
yeah, I do understand that. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Because I also feel that this is when TB, they don't do it now because they can treat it, but people were taken away and put into sort of like convalescent places or sanatoriums or whatever they used to do. People were taken away to rest and to
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
you understand that. And
Yeah.
I just feel that there was something about rest or going away to because they were poorly. And also, this may sound a little bit odd, but would you understand that somebody going back in the family suffered with polio?
Not on my side, but I do know on another side of the family,
Okay.
my partner's side of the family.
Okay. And I feel also, again, this is before the vaccinations and what have you, but I've got someone that had to go into one of those are they called iron lungs, or they had to go into hospital for quite some time?
Oh, I don't know. Not sure.
Because I do know that polio can affect it. Years ago, it was a very, very serious, dangerous condition.
It is, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and depending on the severity of it, but I just feel that this person suffered, and also there must have been some problems where they couldn't move.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
At some time, because I feel like I can't move my legs. So that's what they're making me aware of. Oh, there's some interesting things coming up tonight. I've not had that one before, so that's interesting. Now, as I say that, I've also got this cat that's just walked in, and this cat is very, very fluffy, and it's got this beautiful tail, and I feel the tail would sort of like circle around as it walked. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
And this cat had attitude. You know, it would walk in as if say, "I'm here. You may fuss me." That's the sort of attitude, and it would sort of suss everybody out in a room and only go where it wanted to go.
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah.
You know, it's one of those posh cats, and it strutted its stuff. It's a real strutter, I want to say.
Yeah. It wasn't posh, but he knew how to strut his stuff.
The cat thought it was posh. The cat had attitude, I tell you. The cat thought it was posh. And it would be like the Queen walking in and deciding who she was going to talk to. That's the sort of feeling I've got. Well, the cat's just wandered back in again, wandered back in. And I also have a lady that draws close to you, Nikki, and I feel she's lovely, this lady. And would you understand grandmother in the spirit world?
I do understand grandmother in spirit, yes.
She's really lovely. She's got a fantastic smile. She's got a great sense of humor, and she chuckles. She's got like a chuckle about her. Would you understand that?
Yeah, I'd understand a chuckle. Yeah.
You've got her chuckle. You've got her chuckle. And I feel that she loved her life, your grandmother. I feel she really enjoyed life, and I feel she took every opportunity that she could, and she didn't let. And she went through quite a lot, I feel, but she didn't let life get her down. You know, I think I've got the motto in my head now: when life throws you lemons, make lemonade.
Yeah, yeah. I understand that.
And would you also understand that somebody that went and made their own lemonade?
trying to think. Yes, I do.
Right.
Yes.
Because I've got somebody actually making lemonade.
Yeah.
And I feel that but this lady, she just comes in and this lady was a hugger. I feel she was very tactile, your grandmother, because she
Okay.
wants to give everybody lots of lots of love. She was a very smart lady as well.
Yeah.
A very smart lady. And I do feel that in her day, when she was younger, I feel she was a very attractive woman as well. Would you understand that?
Yes. Yeah.
Because
I'm
there's a
just trying to picture,
photograph of her. And would you understand land army connected somewhere?
Say again, sorry.
Land army, you know, the land girls, somebody that worked on the land during the war.
Possibly, but I
Okay.
don't think it's with my side of the family.
No, but that's something, they're all just popping in tonight for you.
Yeah.
But I just feel that there's a picture of your grandmother when she was younger, and I feel that she's got great legs, and she's posing in a picture when she's younger, and I feel she's got like a quite a tight pencil skirt on.
Okay.
All right, maybe you have to look through photographs, but she's quite she was quite a stunner, I want to say, in her day.
Yeah.
Now, would you understand why she's talking about healing with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I do feel that she must have had healing or been a healer or had knowledge of it. Would you understand?
Okay. I wouldn't understand that, no. But,
you wouldn't understand that.
No, it's probably for me.
Okay, but you understand why she's talking about healing with you. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel that your grandmother, when she was here, she would try and nudge you in the right direction, if that makes sense. So I just feel that she just wants to nudge you in that direction.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So they're all here for you, you know, the gentleman, your grandmother, the cat, they're all here for you tonight. So take their love.
Oh, thank you, Karen. That's lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you.
My pleasure. Okay. Okay.
Are you all right for another one, Karen? Or?
Yeah, I'll do one more, because I've got a gentleman here. And I feel that he passed with a heart attack. Now, this is an unusual name. Basil. Would anybody understand the name Basil? And as soon as I've said it, I want to do the, you know, Basil from 40 Towers. So that's what comes into my mind. But I just feel this gentleman had a heart attack, and I feel he passed quite quickly. I feel that he didn't hang about. He passed quite quickly. Does this make sense to anybody? Put Basil to one side if you can't take that. But would anybody understand a gentleman that passed with a heart attack and went quite quickly? Fran, did you nod then?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I
You
can't
can.
stand Basil though.
Pardon?
Can't understand Basil though.
Okay, all right. Would you understand where this gentleman possibly, or there's a connection with the hotel trade or hospitality?
No.
Okay, don't worry, that's fine. It's my head coming in, so that's fine. But you can understand this gentleman that passed quite quickly. And would you understand, Fran, where this man could be a little bit, shall we say, at the time he passed, there was some stress going on with him. Would you understand that?
Possibly. I was only little when he passed, so I'm
okay, because I just feel that there was quite a lot of stress on him. That's what he's making me aware of. But I also feel that there was people around after he passed that sort of couldn't quite believe it, or it was such a shock for a lot of people. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
And I sort of feel that there's people around even now that still talk about that time, or it still affects them. Do you understand that?
It did. A lot of them have passed themselves now, but yeah,
right.
Yeah, I can take it as in past. Yeah.
Okay. Because I feel this gentleman, when he was here, he didn't like loose ends, and him going quickly sort of left quite a few loose ends within his life. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And he's sort of saying that he never got a chance to finish them and to sort things out. And I'm not just talking about practical things. I'm also talking about things that perhaps needed to be said. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
And he's really sorry for that, because I do feel that it caused a little bit of a hoo-ha or a little bit of an upset. Does that make sense to
Yeah,
you?
it does, yeah.
Okay. And he's really, really sorry for that, because there was more questions than answers when this gentleman passed. And would you understand something about a connection to money? He's not going to go into too much detail, but would you understand a connection with money related to him as well? Something about money. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, there was something when he passed about money, but I can't recall exactly what it was.
He's not giving me the exact information, but I just feel there was outstanding money or something that wasn't quite right. And I feel that it put a little bit of pressure on somebody that was here. Okay.
I think there was something, I'm not sure whether there wasn't a will or something. There was something that happened.
Okay.
But I'm not, because
Okay.
it's such a long time ago when I was only little,
Yeah,
I can't remember.
that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
He's just making me aware that, and I feel that, I don't know if somebody around you or you yourself have been talking about putting your house in order or talking about sorting things out in that regard, to do with finances, to do with money, to do with things like that. Would you understand that?
That's me, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I just feel that he wants to come in just to say, don't put it off. Okay. The reason why he says that is get it all done, so that you don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
No, don't worry. No, there's nothing. He's not saying it for that reason. But I feel that he wished that he'd sorted things out, because he normally did. I feel he was a man that normally sorted things out. So I just feel, so he must have been earwigging on your conversations.
Must have been, yeah.
So, and I feel that he's saying, don't put off tomorrow what you can do today. Okay. And also, just get things sorted, because he wished that he did. Okay. I feel that he's making me aware that he missed so much in your life. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
And he's really sorry for that. And also he's saying, make sure you don't miss things in your children's life. Does that make sense? Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay, let me just clarify what he's trying to say. Would you understand that when, obviously you were quite young when he passed over, I feel it, would you understand that this is being dad?
No, it ain't my dad.
It's not dad. Okay. But would you understand where he was a dad to somebody?
No, he didn't have any children.
He didn't have any children. Okay. All right. Why are you saying that? Okay. Would you understand whereby he wanted them, or that was something that he missed?
Yeah, I think it was because he didn't meet his wife, you see, till later on in life, and it was too late in the day then. But yeah, I think he always wanted children, and that was.
I feel that there's something about children.
Yeah, I think I know what he's getting at. Yeah.
And it's something that he missed, or something that he wished that he'd had. And also I feel that it's like you've got to make the most of what you've got while you've got it, because time, he's saying that time goes quite quickly. And I feel that, yes, I feel he wished that he'd met his wife earlier, but the time they had was amazing, but he wished they'd had more.
Yeah.
You understand that. And I also feel that there's something that you've been putting off. And this is why he's saying that you've got to grab the opportunities while you have them and make the most of of what you've got, because you know time goes so quickly.
Yeah.
Do you understand what he's saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you understand the name of Robert?
I can take a Robert in spirit, but it's on the other side of the family.
That's fine. It doesn't matter, because sometimes the names come through. And would you understand Elsie?
Yes, that's my gran. Elsie, that's who you've got, sister.
Right. Okay. Because I just feel Elsie. And would you understand Basil at all? The name Basil.
Basil. Do you know what? I'll have to ask my mum. I can't just take it at the minute, but I will ask my mum.
If it's not Basil, but somebody would have loved Fawlty Towers. Somebody would have watched Fawlty Towers.
Yeah, I like Fawlty Towers.
Right. Okay. Fine. That's fine. That's fine. Because I just felt there's a connection with Fawlty Towers somewhere. And I also feel that somebody would have checked with your mum to see if somebody worked in a hotel or had a connection with a hotel business.
My mum's just been to York, and she's just come back today and told me that the hotel was like Fawlty Towers. So I'm wondering if the person you've got is working again.
Because I got Basil Fawlty.
Then, yeah.
So yeah, so obviously that's the connection. But I do also feel that there's a connection with somebody working in the hotel industry within the family. Double check with your mum. Double check.
Yeah, I can't just place that, but we'll ask her. Yeah.
Okay. Because there's some sort of connection. I don't know if they did a bit of chambermaid or reception work or something like that. I just feel that there was a connection with the hotel industry. And I know we were talking about, I feel it was coastal as well. I feel it was down on the front, down on the coast as well. Something about a coastal hotel.
I'll have to ask about that. I can't
just ask about that. Okay. All right. And this gentleman just wants to be remembered to you, because I feel that there's not many people that do remember him now. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I can understand that, because a lot of the family has passed now. Yeah. And within
I just feel that he just wants to be, he just wanted to come in to just to connect with you. Okay. And also give his best wishes to your mum.
Will do, yeah.
All right, because I do feel that your mum had a close connection with him. Would you understand that?
Yeah.
And I feel he's got a lot of love for your mum.
Yeah, he would have done, yeah.
And I feel they spent a lot of time together. And I feel that he really loved her.
Yeah.
And I feel that she brought out a different side in him. I just feel that there was something she could talk to him. You ask your mum about the conversations. I just feel that they would talk, and she brought out a different side in him.
Yeah.
Okay. So take his love.
Yeah. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your kind attention, and I'll hand that back over to Gavin.
Thank you, Karen, for some lovely in-depth readings there. It was lovely to watch. And you did incredibly well, because it's a small group. It's much more difficult, isn't it? There's not so many people to choose from, but you did incredibly well. So
thank you.
Thank you very much for that. Okay, just our notifications then. We have our next service next Saturday, 21st of May. Doors open at 6:45 as usual. And our guest medium is Gilly Luna Emerson. So I hope to see you all here. We also have our online open circle on Tuesday evenings. Doors open at 7:45. So do feel free to come along to that. It's free, and invite your friends too. Now you can find the links to all of our online events in our online community, which is free to join, which can be accessed via www.amadeity.org or via Facebook Amadeity group. So I shall hand back to Karen now for our closing prayer.
Let us pray, ladies and gentlemen. Divine Spirit, Father God, as we come to the end of this connection time, this divinity, this time together of blending the two worlds as one, we give thanks for this time, for the memories, for the love that has been brought through. And we ask that it go out to where it is needed, so that we may allow healing and peace to be brought to this world. We also ask for healing to go out to everybody here and the homes that they represent. Great Spirit, thank you. Thank you for your love, your compassion, and your patience until we meet again. Amen.
Amen.
God be with you till we meet again. By his counsel's guide uphold you. With his sheep securely fold you. God be with you till we meet again.
God be with you till we meet again. Neath his wings securely hide you. Daily manna still provide you. God be with you till we meet again. Till we meet, till we meet, till we meet at Jesus' feet. Till we meet, till we meet. God be with you till we meet again.
God be with you till we meet again. When life's perils thick confound you, put his arms unfailing round you. God be with you till we meet again.
Till we meet, till we meet, till we meet at Jesus' feet. Till we meet, till we meet. God be with you. God be with you. Oh, God be with you till we meet again.